What's happening, people? My name is Christopher, and you're watching You Should Try This Game, a series where I review great games I believe you may not have heard of. The game you should try today is Psychonauts, an action RPG but also a linear story thing. Psychonauts takes place at a camp for psychics where your character, Rasputin, is learning to hone his psychic powers. However, after training for a bit, Raz uncovers a plot to take over the world and has to save the camp and his girlfriend from certain doom. Pros. Don't let my terrible butchered summary of the story turn you off of the plot. Psychonauts has some of the best writing I've ever seen in a video game.
You were born with a special gift.
The writing isn't cliché and the plot isn't predictable. One of the best things about Psychonauts is your ability to enter other people's minds. Each mind is a completely different world that mirrors the personality of the mind's host. For example, the mind of the advanced Psychonaut is an orderly cube where everything is neat and clean, whereas the mind of the war veteran is an ever-fighting battlefield with traps at every turn. Also, this game has some of the hardest puzzles you'll ever see. And unlike some quote-unquote puzzle games, Psychonauts manages to balance gameplay, story, and puzzles pretty well, with realistic puzzles that enrich the story instead of pulling you away from it. Finally, I would like to praise the level design. Anyone who can make a circus level out of pure meat is cool in my book. Not only that, but the terrain is varied and provides unique puzzles not seen in many other video games. Cons. Although I greatly enjoy this game,
Basic braining is the best class ever!
It certainly has its fair share of downfalls. First up, the leveling system. I understand the concept of having unlockable powers, but for heaven's sakes, don't integrate it into the story. There are sections where the only way to progress is to have some power unlocked at level 50. This makes for some unneeded frustrations and can really slow the story. Next is the climbing. A lot of this game has puzzles where you must climb your way to places. Now, for the most part this is fine, but the aggravating camera and other glitches can slow gameplay way down. On many occasions, when Raz was launched at the pole to grab onto, it slid right off like a bad player block. Finally, although the puzzles are great, there are some puzzles that will frustrate you endlessly. If you get really stuck, there's no shame in looking up a guide. I did. The verdict? Psychonauts is indisputably one of the best games I've played all year, and is well worth your time, no matter what kind of gamer you are. If you don't check it out, you're missing out on the ride of a lifetime.